Okay, so
All right, you're live on my end.
we live, boy. All right. I'm sure I'll edit this and post.
I was gonna say, there's gonna be times where I'm like, wait, are you gonna cut that out? Please.
Probably not in the middle, but probably at the
Wait,
beginning and
hang
end.
on. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Definitely don't be nervous. It's super easy. We'll get through this. We just got to go through the itinerary. I have some jokes planned here. Actually, give me my phone, Ray.
Thank you.
Producer Ray coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jamie, pull up bears eating babies. What's something that Joe Rogan would have on his? You would tell Jamie to pull up.
Bears eating babies. Here, speak up a
Your
little bit.
neighbor's got a sweet bike over there. Oh, sorry.
All good. Mic to your mouth. I think that's why, Ray. I think that's why people need to be reminded. Mic to mouth.
Get mic to mouth. That's fine.
Well, no, I think that's just why. Like, yeah, all right, whatever.
I remember Joe. Oh my God, this is the second time I'm bringing up Joe Rogan. How annoying is that? But he was saying during COVID, their first show back, all of the comedians got COVID, and he was like, "Man, I don't understand how we were all so socially distanced, but they were all using the same microphone." And as you can imagine, like in a stand-up comedy routine, like people are probably spitting all over the mic and
Oh yeah, it would be
putting
absolutely
it right
gross.
up in their mouth.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why everyone had to bring their own mics.
Yeah.
Definitely recommended. All right, let's see here.
I could have brought my own mic. It's just a little TikTok mic that I use for coffee.
It's all right.
combos.
I took care of us.
This one is way better.
All right, so let's start for real. Episode number 31. Hoagies and Pierogis. As you'll notice, this is not RJ. Although we did eat hoagies earlier, though. So those are really good. Where was that from?
Uncle Sam's.
Uncle Sam's.
Yeah,
Uncle
in Squirrel
Sam's.
Hill. There's two
USA.
locations.
USA.
Yeah. So the bad part about that is if you eat in the restaurant, they give you free French fries with your hoagie, but not if you take out, which is dumb because they also closed their dining. So I don't know where the loophole is there for me to get fries, but
You know what? They can go fuck
figure it out.
themselves. But yeah, it's not RJ. It is Tommy Turbo, a.k.a. Tommy Two Thumbs.
yeah, Tommy Two Thumbs. What was that tight end? No, he was like a defensive end or something.
Yeah, from Ohio State. Yeah.
Two broken thumbs this season. Bad.
Tommy Two
That's a badass
Thumbs.
nickname.
Fuck yeah. So what fans are your teams of, Thomas?
That's
That's what we got to go over. We usually go over like NFL, MLB,
okay.
NHL,
So
NBA. I know you like basketball.
all of the local sports teams in Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh, so
Pierogis and Pierogi land.
yeah, that's right. So Steelers. I really started. I was a fan of them since I was how old was I in 2005 when they won the Super Bowl for the first time in my life?
9.
Yeah.
I think 2005 we were 9.
Yeah, and it was really just because I was such a huge fan of their defense. I mean, they had Joey Porter, James Harrison was like a younger player for them at the time, which is crazy because I ended up looking at their roster. He was like 27 at that time,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
he was still
Jesus.
playing up till a few years ago. Like he was like 40 years old, and still crushing people, which is awesome.
Yeah, we'll be 27 next year. How
Yeah,
good
but,
does that feel?
I mean, the roster was just awesome. You had, Jerome Bettis was still doing his thing. Willie Parker was like the next running back coming up. And then you had, obviously, Ben. This was his second year. And he was able to take him to a Super Bowl. So that's when I really
Hell
started
yeah.
becoming a Steelers fan. And from there, the NBA, I never really was a big – I don't really have a team that I like. I mean, my wife's from Philly, so I will try to keep up with their scores. But, really it's whatever's on. I don't know. I don't really follow it too much. I'm a big proponent of the season being cut shorter because I feel like it'd be easier for me to watch it. But for the biggest, I'm a huge fan of Kentucky Wildcats men's basketball.
Oh, okay.
And that started with John Wall. He's my favorite all-time basketball player.
Dude, I
So-
remember in middle school, everyone was doing the John Wall,
Yeah,
John
yes.
Wall.
And it was the first rap song that I learned and was like, oh my gosh, I can rap. Man. And it didn't have the N word in it, so I was like, oh, I think I'd be a good pass to like actually sing this in school in our Catholic school. So
they don't say the N word. This would be a good song to rap at Catholic school.
Right. Yeah. Sister Karen's like, wow, I've never heard that song before. But
what does flex mean?
Yeah. And so, like 2012, they had Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. They had like 6 guys go to the NBA. They ended up losing 2 games, one to Indiana at a buzzer beater.
Whew.
But they went on and won the national championship, and that was when I just realized I really like John Calipari and their team. I guess you could call me a bandwagon fan because I've followed them ever since, and they've always been at least a top-tier team in the country. So, like, it wasn't a couple years after that they had that upset loss against Robert Morris. I don't know if you remember. They were playing in like a gym that was 110 degrees or something.
Oh, Jesus.
At Robert Morris, and they beat them.
Ugh.
Yeah, so.
I mean, when it's 110 degrees, those bigger kids have, need to move their blood around a little bit more than the smaller ones. I'm sure Robert Morris didn't have 5 7-foot players.
Right, yeah. Or like any forwards over 6'5".
But yeah, Jesus.
But yeah, those have been my teams. I'm a Pens fan. Yeah, baseball. Not to bring up the Yankees, but since 2005, that was a big year for me in sports, if you can't realize. But I played it was like MLB. I don't know if it was one of the 2K games or if they had come out with.
Wait,
2K.
Are you about to say you're a Yankees fan for some that I didn't know about?
I think if I could just place myself in time with a team, it would be the 2005 Yankees. Because listen to this lineup: you had Jason Giambi on first, Robinson Cano on second. You still had Derek Jeter, A-Rod, Ruben Sierra was their designated hitter, who was a Hall of Famer. So you had all these guys playing. Still had Mariano Rivera pitching.
Oh yeah, the cutter.
Yeah,
the cutter Dan.
So
cutters.
I really fell in love with that team just from playing whatever the video game is that was out. I think it might have been 2K5. That might have been.
Yeah, it was. I think it was MLB 2K before it was the show.
So I just started following them, and I had more time to actually watch baseball then than I do now because I was home from school, and so I just started watching them. But I mean, I grew up watching the Pirates and stuff. Jack Wilson's my favorite baseball player of all time.
Oh, okay.
And
Hack Wilson.
Yeah. Couldn't hit worth a damn. He struck out like 700 times in a season, but my God, he had some awesome plays at shortstop. And he played a couple times at third base too, and he'd have some crazy throws. I still think he had one of the strongest arms I've ever seen for such a small guy. And now he does broadcasting for them, so it's cool to see him back.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Those are my teams, really.
Fuck yeah. So, I mean, I'm a bandwagon fan of the Patriots too, technically. So
I don't really
don't feel bad about that.
I don't consent to the bandwagon title for a lot of people. I mean, like no one's going to jump on being a fan of a team that sucks unless you were like from that city.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like I said before, it's the same way with people that are fans of the Cowboys and the 49ers now.
Yeah, exactly.
They became fans of them because they were dynasties.
Or, the other thing is we talk about this sometimes with the Pirates. Like there are going to be once the Pirates and hopefully at some point in our lifetime, like they are like a regular playoff contender. There are going to be people coming out of like the woodworks that are now fans. Are we going to shun them away because they weren't fans during the dark ages?
Yeah.
Like now? Probably not. It's just cool to see. Like
I think I would.
Yeah, right. Pirates Twitter.
Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah. Pirates Twitter would be doxing all those people, but yeah.
They're spending a little bit more. They brought in Carlos Santana.
I know, yeah.
That's a great move.
Yeah. And
someone counted all of his hits from last season, and like 45 of them would have been home runs in PNC.
Yeah, he actually had a decent amount of home runs too. He's a DH, right? And he played for like,
DH at first base, yeah.
And he was on 2 rosters last year. The Royals and someone else.
Royals and the Mariners?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, the Mariners. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's great. They need someone, more hitters, more offense. I feel like the past few years they've been so like pitch heavy and defensive minded. Well,
veterans, that's the thing too. Like they brought in Choi, who's a veteran. They brought in Santana, who's a real great veteran. Yeah. I don't know if you saw this, but one of his quotes, it was from 2018. He said, let's see here. Carlos Santana smashed his TV because Phillies players were playing Fortnite during a game in the clubhouse in September. So he just smashed the TV.
Like, was this before a game or during the playing of a
It
game?
was like during the game.
And they were in the clubhouse playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was 2018. I think the Phillies were garbage.
Probably
that
garbage.
year.
Yeah. And
I mean, up until even this year, they were.
you're in your
not-
your 73rd game and you're in like a terrible record. And you're like,
Yeah, you just want to be
you
like.
might as well drop. And honestly, like that was when Fortnite was huge. So can you imagine what that would look like now? People playing Warzone on like the bottom of the 7th while your pitcher's giving up 7 runs. You're like, fuck it.
I might let
We're
you
loaded.
fly around as Goku now.
We're loading.
Dude, oh my god. I could play some Warzone tonight.
Yeah, no, I'll be down.
Absolutely.
That's one thing that I didn't do enough this holiday break was play enough Call of Duty, but everybody definitely got the game for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I wanted to play more God of War, but I just never got around to it.
It looked
it's-
awesome
oh
on
God, it's so good.
your like grandma's TV.
Oh yeah, my grandma has a 70-inch 4K TV. She's had it for like
I've never
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. The
She was ahead of the game.
games are looking awesome. And it wasn't until I got Call of Duty Cold War and I still had it on my old Xbox. And that's when I realized like my not having the next generation of console is really screwing my like I thought the game looked terrible.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so I'm
it did.
telling all these people, I'm like, this is the trash graphic game. And they're like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. It's actually awesome. And they're playing on the new PS5. I'm lagging all over the place, saying this is the worst Call of Duty ever. Then I got Vanguard for the PS5, and I was like, yes, it's life changing.
Yeah.
It is. It really looks awesome.
Dude, it's so nice to have someone else to talk about video games with because RJ doesn't play video games.
Oh, yeah. No, you know.
Go fuck yourself, RJ.
Yeah, RJ, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Don't know.
Yeah, take it from
Sorry.
Tommy Turbo,
Sorry.
baby.
I'm a guest on this show. I shouldn't be saying stuff like that.
Dude, shit talk all you want. Our guests can say anything because we approved of them.
Cheers.
Cheers, baby. Oh, Thomas, bring it here. Yeah, cheers. Let's go.
Hey, shout out to Ray for the help setting this up.
Yeah, this could absolutely not have been done without Ray, our producer over there. I almost bought the same camera that he's recording on us on now.
Which is this the one that I recorded all my work stuff on during COVID? Oh God, I have a bad relationship with this camera just because of
Oh shit.
not technical reasons. It was awesome. Just the PTSD of my job during that time was enough to make a man cry.
Absolutely. Fuck COVID.
Yeah.
Try to ruin sports for everyone. But yeah, you wanted to go over the Giannis ladder incident, no?
Yeah. So, when did this happen? Like 2 weeks ago? I feel like
It was like a week and a half. Actually, it might have been a week ago.
they like stuff like that tends to blow over pretty quickly, mostly because there's so much going on in sports.
I'm pretty sure it happened last Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, already it's not even that big of a deal. I probably make these types of things a way bigger deal than a lot of the media does. And I compare it to Devontae Adams knocking that camera guy over.
Right.
Which, looking back, it's like pretty funny. That guy ended up suing him, I think, for
He did, yeah.
he pressed charges, so he's chasing a bag for sure.
That's what I said. I was like, if that ladder would have hit anyone, it would have been worse than like the charges because he probably could have gotten charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
Right, and
A 12-foot
like,
ladder is pretty deadly.
imagine you damage like the court, and he's away. You know, he's in Philly, who already hates Giannis to death.
Yeah.
So there's part of me that is like, okay, he's in Philly, like he just wants to get some shots up after a bad game. Like if it was any other player, specifically like Kobe, people would be saying, "Oh, I love Kobe's mentality. That dude's a dog. That's the Mamba mentality right there." But and here's the other thing: I don't think anybody would be fucking with Kobe if he's shooting shots
No.
after the game. The problem is that guy has the guy that's taking and adjusting the hoop, and all of those people that are cleaning up after the game, like they have a job to do, and it's likely that there's a significant time crunch on that because they probably had some other event going on in the arena the next morning.
Yeah, there's when they're in, they need to get in there and out of there.
Right.
Just
right.
like what you said, they are on a pretty rigid schedule.
So, how much do you think Ladder Man makes in a year?
Oh Jesus, that's probably not even his.
In
That's
Philadelphia.
not even his main job. Probably
Yeah, so he probably does like
$25,000-$30,000 a year.
work.
Yeah,
Exactly. And Giannis
they probably get paid per game. It's not even a set.
right. Giannis's contract is good for what? Like I wrote it down somewhere. Like $80-some million. You know what I mean? So when you compare
A lot.
those two together, I'm just looking at Giannis like go back home in your court that you probably have in your house and shoot free throws there. It's different if it's your home stadium. I speak and I felt the same way about Devontae Adams. I just feel like a lot of times athletes elevate themselves above like the normal man. Now, granted, they're worth a lot more from like a salary perspective, and teams have put a lot of money into them, and owners have put a lot of money into them. But like not to the disrespect of just like a common person just doing their job and trying to go home at the end of the day.
Well, did you see?
Like ladder man.
Yeah. Do you know the backstory behind it?
Yeah. Well, so he missed like 9 to 10 free throws that night or something.
Yeah. But like even before that, or I mean after that.
No.
So he had made 7 free throws already. Out of the 10, out of the 10 that he wanted to make. And then Harrell came over and snatched the ball from him and said, "Get the fuck off the court. This is our court.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Go home."
I saw them arguing. Yeah.
Yeah, so he snatched the ball from him, and they were like shooting on the one rim, and then Giannis went back to his locker room.
Yeah.
Came back out.
Okay.
I don't know why he came back out, and that's when the guy was like taking the net down, and that's when that whole thing happened.
Yeah. So they were already taking. He already began the process of taking the hoop down when he came back out.
Yeah, but I just don't think the Philly players should have fucked with him.
Yeah.
Because he was already over halfway done.
Right.
This whole thing could have been prevented if they just let him shoot his last
much
3.
Different if you're shooting 100 free throws.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be there all fucking night.
Yeah.
I have to make 100 in a row, dude.
Right.
Go home.
Yeah. Go to your own court. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents. And I don't know. I get annoyed because the exorbitant amounts of money they're getting paid compared to the common person who is like putting the show on. If it's not for those people who's on the ground, it's like the people that work at Disney World. Like no one's thanking the maintenance people that make the rides go. You know what I mean? You're only looking at the people who are dressed up in the costumes, like the stars.
Exactly.
And that's how the sports world is. So Devontae Adams and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Is that how I said?
We're after you.
Yeah.
If you're watching, and I'm going to take this from the Hey Babe podcast. If you're watching, and we know you are,
Devontae Adams, there's probably 300,000 things he would be doing rather than watching this podcast.
Probably.
One, talking with his lawyers.
Well, you brought up exorbitant money. You put in here that DeGrom opted out of his contract, and I did not even see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that at all. That was at the beginning of the month.
So he only had 1 year left with the Mets, and he opted out. Now
it would have been $35.5 million,
right,
or $30.5 million.
To me, that's a big chance that somebody's going to pick him up. I just think that he's 34 or something, maybe 35.
35 in June of next year.
He only played 11 games last season. His ERA was like 3.06. So it's not like he strung together even a couple good shutouts or something. I mean, he had
308's pretty fucking good for,
Yeah, he's a starter
for
starting
anyone.
pitcher
For
too,
anyone,
so definitely. But
I think his FIP was lower too, so I think he underperformed.
Not to jump to the Pirates, but is this something that the Pirates would ever look into picking up short term pitcher late in his career?
They could easily add DeGrom for 3. I think. No matter where he lands, I think it's going to be similar to what Max Scherzer got with the Mets last year. 3 years, $143 million. It works out to about 40. I have it here. I think it was $41.3 million a year. I think 3 years, $130 million, $43.3 million per year.
That's the thing is like as you get older,
and it's obviously fully guaranteed.
His terms of negotiating his contract go way down. Like, I mean, the father time waits for no one. So
Yeah,
I mean, 34, you're still like edging on the end of the prime of your career, but we see a lot of pitchers that go late into their career and they end up doing pretty successfully. Just as long as he'll be held to like a pretty strong pitch count, I'd imagine.
I still think he's going to get at least $45 million a year.
Okay.
And he's going to set the record for
Yeah.
average annual value
Yeah.
on a contract.
So now, does this look different if the Mets go further? Do you think in the postseason? Oh, sorry. Getting emails.
All good. I think he walks for different reasons, maybe just to see what he can get in free agency. Maybe in that case he would consider re-signing with the Mets.
Yeah.
But I don't think he will. The Mets are probably going to go for Rodon or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I'd have to look at the rest of their players that they have on their contracts and how many years they have left, because if he doesn't see any future chance of like a postseason victory with them, like why would you stick around?
Yeah,
it would be of my career. I'm trying to get a ship at least once before I get out.
Yeah, I don't know if they would be able to swing this, but maybe sign DeGrom to a longer contract for a lower AAV and get Aaron Judge for the Giants.
Oh, wow.
That would be insane. That would be I think the Giants are the front runner for Aaron Judge right now. So
Right. Yeah, and he would fit, I think, really well into their offense because there's not like a ton of home run hitters on their team.
Yeah.
I feel like the most that they had, I forget who it was, had like 22 home runs on the season.
It was like Belt or Crawford.
Yeah, maybe.
One of those two.
And he's coming in with 62.
Yeah.
So,
if you can get even 40 a year, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's well worth the $400 million.
Right.
He's going to get.
Batting over 300 with an OPS of 1.
Great defensively. It's not like they have to DH him. They can put him in left field or right field, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could play center field because I don't know if he's quite fast enough, but he could. He definitely could.
Big.
Yeah, he's huge. That's a lot of weight to
Yeah.
lug around, and he's not even that heavy.
I hate to have someone like get tossed into right field just because like you're looking for somewhere to put them. Because I mean, right field historically, you're not getting a ton of play there just because there's not that many left-handed hitters. But I mean, you want someone with a strong arm in right field. He can make like easy throws to third and to home.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be there. I'd love to see him in San Francisco, and
that would be cool. But speaking of weight to lug around, dude, I clocked in at 200 for the first time this week.
Oh, cheers! I'm at 200 myself.
Well, hold up. Yeah, this is what I thought about. I remember you were like, "Oh man, I'm so mad. I want to get to 200 pounds because you're 6'4".
Right.
You're pretty big.
Right.
I'm 5'10". When I hit 200, I was like, "Oh god damn it!" Now I understand what girls want when they complain about 6 inches. 200 pounds at 6'4" is a lot better than 200 pounds at 5'10".
Well, so my friend Zach and I in college, both of us have the same build, and you know Zach.
Yeah.
Tall, skinny.
Absolutely. Shout out Zach.
Yeah.
And we know you're watching.
Yeah. He does know I'm on this podcast today. I told him to watch. But he and I both were around the same weight. Now, he was really skinny our freshman year of college, and I didn't really know him until we were sophomores. And by that point, him and I started lifting weights together, and his goal was to get to 200 pounds.
Yeah.
That was the goal. Road to 200 was the hashtag. And we both had that same mentality, but he, growing up being a farmer his whole life, was like a 6 a.m. lift person, while I'm like a maybe 9 a.m.
Whenever you wake up.
When I wake up, then we'll roll out and go do it. But he got there.
Can we eat some breakfast
he
first?
He was taking progress pics, and I was like, man, he really blew up, and he looks great. And then I'm like, oh, 202, 203, 210, 215. It just kept going and going and going. And then at one point, he's like, Tom, I got to throw to 200, but I got to go back down the other way. So shout out to you, Zach, for the journey you're on, for sure.
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
Both ends of it, but I felt the same way. I was like, I'd like to 200 feels like a good number for me because I like to run and I feel comfortable when I do that, and I still play basketball. So being 200 pounds, I feel like I'm not getting bullied around, but I can still run like a gazelle up and down. But during COVID, when I'm eating 4 meals a day with very little caloric output besides lifting weights, I was like 212 pounds, and that's when I was like, okay, now I go for a run.
Reel it in a little bit.
Yeah, like I feel sluggish. You know, like I've never been this big. Some of my clothes aren't fitting anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That. My mom. I got a flannel for Christmas last year. It was pretty tight when I wore it yesterday.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's tough. And you also got to chalk it up to like a good wash will ruin your clothes.
Oh, absolutely. But I should definitely be around 180.
Okay. Well, hit me up. We got.
Oh, I haven't done shit since I've quit swimming, Thomas.
Yeah. It's hard.
8 years.
It's hard.
It's been 8 years since I've stopped swimming.
Well, what was your weight when you stopped swimming?
180.
Oh, so I mean,
185.
you're about
Probably
200
185 at the end. Yeah.
so like 20 pounds in 8 years. It'd be different if it was 20 pounds in a year.
Yeah.
Then I think we'd be having the conversation with you. We'd be like, "Hey, Ian, there's actually something I want to talk to you
Yeah,
about."
it's time for an intervention. And now, I didn't want to. We're not gonna fat shame here, but we do need to talk about this. Some BB Rexa. BB Rexa was looking thicker. Well, if I can get my fucking cursor over there, thicker than the mashed potatoes on the table, jiggling more than the cranberry.
Oh my gosh.
She was feeling that thing.
And I think the craziest part was that this was also playing at like 11 o'clock on your family's TV.
Yes. So at first I was like, I would smash. And then my uncle walked in, and then he's 80. He was like, "Who put the fat girl on the TV?"
Oh my God. Dude, when you get to 80, you just fucking know what you're saying.
And then I was like, "Yeah, who put the fat girl on the TV?"
You didn't hear my first comment, did you? Dude, but like the craziness of
She did look a little bit uncomfortable.
and I hear like I didn't really watch the halftime show, but I just hear
Right.
that the fans did not appreciate it as well.
So
I heard there was some boos.
I wonder if I can get a good picture of this stage.
It just was a strange choice. I don't know. Is she putting out a lot of music recently that I don't know about?
I don't know. It's a little bit weird, but this is where the stage was. Like, this is literally where the stage was.
Oh,
Not on the field at
not
all.
even on the field.
No, yeah.
So they were probably watching it on like the big screen.
They were up in the corner. Like, no one can see them back there.
Yeah.
Especially through the like behind the thing here.
I don't know. I just all of it was it's all weird. They should have brought Creed back for the 11:30 wholesome Thanksgiving family halftime show. Did they announce who the Super Bowl? Oh, Rihanna.
Rihanna. Yeah.
Sweet. That. Okay, now taking a complete 180. God, I can't wait for that. I've been asking for a Rihanna album for so long.
I think that's gonna be really good. Oh, it would be even more insane if she debuted a new song
At the Super Bowl?
with Baby Rexa.
Yeah.
I actually do think they already have a song together.
Oh, gosh. Is she country or pop?
She's pop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like.
She did that song with
Electronic.
Florida Georgia Line.
Oh, did she?
Actually, I don't know.
She has a really popular song with David Guetta, and Party Peoples did a remix of one of her songs.
Oh, God. Yeah. We got to get off music because I don't
Obviously,
know
no one knows
enough
about Party
this.
Peoples anyway. Yeah. Let's go back to sports.
And Party Peoples, if you're watching, and we know you are.
I'll send this to Ryan. Maybe he'll watch. I don't know.
He'd probably
I don't know if he would. I don't think
Have
he
you
would.
ever DM'd them?
Oh, I've talked to him a little bit. No, nothing like
They
crazy.
respond?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. I think before we go on to NFL, the reason why we're even here today, we watched the Ohio State Michigan game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was awesome. And
A little bit slow to start out.
yeah, we were sitting there like, it was pretty quiet in the room, and I'm like, man, these guys are. I thought this was going to be way more electric than what happened, and you were like, yeah, I thought this would be 2017, and right after you said that, boom,
2017 at halftime.
20-yard bomb, touchdown, 40-yard bomb, touchdown,
Yeah.
20-yard bomb, answer, and all of a sudden it's 2017 going into half. Yeah, it ended up being a great game, but then Michigan
ran away with it. Kind of what I expected. Well, in the second half, they were really establishing the run, which is what I thought they were going to do the whole game. I thought they were just going to bowl over Ohio State, but
Right.
they didn't do that until the second half.
And just by looking, it looks like I was looking at their run game. Their running back, Donovan Edwards, had 216 rushing yards.
Dude, who needs Blake Corum?
2 touchdowns.
Who needs Blake Corum?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And their quarterback did well. He had 3 touchdowns himself. JJ McCarthy. Shout out to those guys. They really
Dude,
they were balling.
slinging it. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that was the most electrifying I've ever seen Michigan's offense.
And
this year.
also, I mean, shout out to Stroud for Ohio State. I mean, he threw for like 349 yards.
He did ball
had
out.
2 touchdowns.
I think he's still probably Heisman favorite
Yeah.
because he didn't have any interceptions, right?
He had 2 picks, one at the end.
Oh,
of
he
the
had 2
game.
picks.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even.
So
I must completely missed that.
yeah, we'll edit that out. But
I will not.
Both of those guys did really well. And I hit the over hit. I was looking like, oh god, I'm just lost
Oh,
$10
yeah.
bucks. So the over was set at 54.5. I thought that was an easy hit, and it ended up being, what was the final score? It ended up scoring like 64 total points.
I
or
would have
something,
been.
So
I think I would have been worried about that. That seems high.
yeah,
It was 45-23 Michigan.
yeah, I know that. Just the end of the first half and going into the second was just way more.
Yeah,
electric, so.
21-3 in the fourth quarter, Michigan.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Damn.
You got other big upset.
Huge upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clemson, shut the fuck up. I don't know. Go fuck yourselves. No one needs you anymore. Stop talking. Stay in South Carolina. Stay in Death Valley.
Thank you. Hey, yeah, that's right. Hey, let's go. Hail to Pitt.
I'm not gonna say hail to Pitt, even though we're in Pittsburgh, because I'm still a West Virginia fan. But
Also, big win for them today. So over Oklahoma State,
yeah, oh, they ended up winning.
Yeah.
What was the final score? It was
24-17 or something. 24-18, 24-19.
Oh, I have the top 25 up. Neither of them are ranked.
Right. Dude, I do that all the time. Or I'll be like, my God, there's no games on. Why is it only ACC games?
Yeah, I hate that.
Ooh,
Oregon State's up 10-7 right now in Oregon. 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
my parlay's done anyway. I couldn't realize who wins that game, to be honest with you. But yeah, Davo not getting it done.
Yeah,
down there in South
24-19.
Carolina. Good upset win by South Carolina.
Dude,
That's
Dabo
awesome.
can go fuck himself too. I hate Clemson Twitter. I hate Clemson as a team. Trevor Lawrence is the only decent thing.
Yeah, and I mean he really wasn't that decent coming out.
He's been doing all right this season. I think a little bit better than last year.
You think we're coming up on a Trevor Lawrence haircut here in the next few years? There's
I
only
think
so
that
long that you can keep your hair like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think you're right.
I mean, how old is he? He's got to be close to 25 now.
25, 24.
You know, so it's cool when you're in college and he was slinging that thing, so he could have had pink hair down to his ankles if he wanted to, the way he was playing. But then you get in the NFL, you're around
He's
all
23.
these dudes, and they don't. I don't know. I just feel like they don't fuck around. Like it's so straight. And the female version.
So is NFL culture.
I don't know if you've been seeing the memes that are like, how many beers would it take to hook up with the female version?
Thomas, you should have been on the show last week.
Oh yeah, dude. But
Russell Wilson's going to Pound Town.
Oh god. There's not someone I dislike more in the NFL than Russell Wilson.
No, but female version of Russell Wilson can get it.
There were a couple others that I was like, oh my gosh, these are beautiful women. Zach Wilson, I think.
That was a
looked
good one.
Beautiful as a woman.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin. I think they had one of him too, and he actually looked like someone that you would go into their house and you're like, this woman's about to cook me an amazing meal. Like I feel at home with this woman. And yeah, but Trevor Lawrence, the female version of himself, just looks like him. So we good?
No, it stopped recording.
Oh no.
Oh, when?
This is what you call an edit.
Well, no, probably not. We're still going on the audio version, so it's okay. The audio version can go as long as it wants.
Oh, there we go.
Spotify will get a little treat.
Testing.
Well, the problem is I just have no idea when it stopped recording.
I can find out.
Can you find out in less than 30 seconds?
Oh, okay. We should keep going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. I'm just thinking he hasn't had the most successful start to his career. Maybe a change in the haircut would change his confidence a little bit.
Yeah, like if YouTube doesn't get this part, I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about you. Yeah.
And if NFL players would look delicious as women.
That was a big segment last week. That's okay.
Well,
That's what I want for the podcast.
I feel like
I want more stuff like that. Actually,
that was a big deal. I feel like a year ago that was so on the internet. I was seeing that all over the place with more like celebrity figures, and for whatever reason, it made a resurrection. And that content is so funny.
I think Barstool got a hold of it.
Not 100% sure. I can't look at it without going back.
What's the timestamp?
I don't know.
Do you know how long the video was at all? Okay. Well.
It sort of just said, no, I'm done.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Start now.
Yeah. Send me both of them whenever, and then we can we'll figure it out. But yeah. I wanted to go over the World Cup game real quick. Before. Well, actually, we're into NFL already.
We might as well stick with the end. Let's go over the games, maybe.
Yeah. So, Bills Lions to start out the day.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, great.
That was a great game.
And like we were talking earlier about the timing of that was kind of awesome. Like people are starting to come over to the house, and like you're starting to have more family around, and like my family's big on like you can watch the game in the beginning, but once we serve the food, like we're hanging out together upstairs. And I'm like, oh, we could still hang out and have the game on.
Yeah, in the background. Yeah, you're not gonna be like,
Right, like I'll still talk to my uncle Dave,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome game. And that was like a great way to start the day off.
28-25. So I had covers giving.
Okay.
So first one fucking hit.
Yeah.
We got the Lions covering 9.5 points. 9.5 points.
Yeah.
Because Bills are going in the opposite direction. Lions are trending up.
Yeah, they were. They came off like a 3-game win streak.
Yeah,
recently.
I don't know if Jamison Williams will be available for the next game, but he's practicing this week. So
And I don't know if you heard a lot of the announcers, they just kept saying, oh, Josh Allen's elbow still bothering him, and he really didn't have that great of a game considering
yeah,
they were able to pull out a win, which just goes to show like I feel like their team overall is still Super Bowl contenders. I mean, they're still able to battle through like tough games like that, and I mean the Lions, I think people don't give them enough credit sometimes.
they don't. They really just don't.
But you know who gives them credit is Detroit fans. I feel like they were rocking that game, and they were really just hoping for an upset win here.
Yeah,
I'm sure some of them are just happy to cover.
I really think people are saying that the Bills are just done without Von Miller. I don't think so. As long as Ed Oliver keeps it up, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's really a shame for Von Miller too, because he's so old. He's like close to 40, or he might be 40 years old.
I think he's 30. We can check this real quick.
It's just
I thought he was like 35.
He definitely won't be back for the regular season, and maybe not back.
Dude, he's 33.
Really?
Yeah, he's only 33. That's surprising.
Man, I'm just aging everybody.
We do it all the time.
Yeah. And I thought earlier, DeGrom, I thought he was like 47 years old.
Who did I say last week? It was someone ridiculous, and I thought he was like 7 years older than he actually was.
Yeah, but no, that's a shame. I mean, it's a decent loss for them because he's like, is he leading in sacks this year for them?
I do not know.
I mean, he offers like he's a big piece of their defense. So I don't know. I think that Josh Allen has shown he was hot in the beginning of the year and looked superhuman, and we're starting to see a more human side of the Bills now, I think. And
yeah, that like I said, that UCL injury is really, it's kind of damning for him, because when Tony Romo was describing it, he said he had the same injury earlier in his career. It's like a shock when you release the ball and you don't know when it's coming.
Yeah,
and that's kind of
you can almost tell sometimes he's like overthrowing people by 5 feet or like severely underthrowing them, and that's just not the type of play that I was used to seeing Josh Allen. I mean, I was calling him the best football player I've ever seen in my life.
Seriously.
He's putting up, I have him on my fantasy team, he's putting up like 30, 40 points sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he put up like 12 last week.
Yeah.
And like, how much is
I don't.
It wasn't
I
that
ended
bad.
up trading him for Josh. Who did I get? I gave him and Zeke away for Herbert and maybe Leonard Fournette. So
Fournette's not playing on Sunday. I hope
know.
you know that.
Well, this was weeks ago. I did this in the middle of the season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I saw that he's out
Yeah.
definitely for Sunday. So yeah, but we got McKinnon in there.
Oh well.
McKinnon's got to pull his weight.
Doesn't matter too much. Yeah.
But yeah, no, good game.
That was a good
Thought we
one.
were going to see an upset there.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Obviously, the Lions didn't pull through because they're the Lions. But Cowboys Giants. This was the big nap game, I think, for everyone. Almost everyone that my two other friends that I've talked to, all took a nap during the game.
Passed out. yeah, and we were a little late on the serving of dinner too, so I'm starving, ravenous. So I ate my plate way too fast.
Oh yeah.
Not only was I really not interested in watching this game, I was so stuffed that I don't think I could keep my eyes open. So yeah, no,
And yet, I mean, people must have just left the TV on. It was the most viewed game ever.
Yeah.
In NFL record.
Yeah, that's
on
crazy.
Record. 42 million. The previous record was 41.5 million back in 1990.
I know. When you told me that, I could not believe that. What?
I was like, wow. It was a Monday night game.
And that's
between the Giants and 49ers. I don't know what was going on in 1990.
Did you say regular season game or most viewed
It was
NFL game ever?
Ever. Most viewed NFL game on record.
More than like Super Bowls.
According to Nielsen, which is,
Yeah. I mean,
pretty accurate.
When you told me that, I confirmed. And you're right. It just is. That's so hard for me to believe because there have been so many like huge games. I just thought maybe something like Tom Brady's last game. When
maybe a Super Bowl.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I guess more people are home on a. But that also doesn't make sense because then people are sharing the same TV. So then I don't know.
People on Thanksgiving this year, maybe.
Then,
Singles.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Lost my train of thought. But let's just move on because I keep saying
Yeah, but Giants come through big with the late TD to cover 9.5. They only lost by 8.
This is stuff.
So I'm 2 for 3.
This is stuff that people. This is why people say the NFL's rigged. Stuff like that. Late scores to cover, or late scores to push the over.
Well, guess what? I'll be the first one to tell you the NFL is not rigged. The Patriots just suck ass and did not cover on Thursday night. Dude, what was that?
Yeah. Dude, and the real quick side.
I am so mad. Every time I think about it, I'm so mad. I just get more and more mad. That was the worst fourth quarter of football I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, they're pretty trash this year in comparison. I mean, they still have a winning record, right? They're 6-5 now. So who knows?
Yeah.
Mac Jones had a pretty good game. I don't know if you were pleased.
Mac Jones had a great game.
Yeah, and
the person that pisses me off is Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
First off, I don't know what the hell that reverse was on third down, and they got a field goal out of it on the. I think it was on the turnover. And they only got a fucking field goal out of it. Yeah. And then this was not his fault. But the Hunter Henry catch. Oh, you knew it was coming. The Hunter Henry catch should have at least been a catch at the 1 yard line. I agree that it may not have been a touchdown, but it should have at least been a catch.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, full control of the ball and the catch. And if anything, you could say maybe the ground. He still had the hand under the ball the entire length. He still made a football move to the end zone. I just don't understand the NFL's take on these types of plays. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, just last week with Travis Kelce, he had a very similar play that ended up, in my opinion, not being a catch, that they ruled a catch and a touchdown. So, at that point, I just wonder how much of it is how many people are watching the game and they know it's a Thanksgiving Day game. I'm not saying that anything is rigged in any way or people are pulling strings. However, I know that anytime Jim Nantz says, oh, they're going to want to take a look at this one, that they do. They end up reviewing it. Like, how much pull do you think NBC has and stuff?
I think that's just from experience on his part, but I could not believe how fast the officiating like commenter they have like on air came in and said no, that's not a catch. I could not believe how fast he decided that.
Right.
That was ridiculous.
Yes.
He came in, ball comes down, the tip of it does hit the ground, but his hand is also under it. So how much of his hand do you want to cover the damn ball?
Right.
If his hand comes and hits the ground, part of the ball is likely to hit the ground with that much force.
Right. So
and then he comes back up, spins it in his hand. That's when he loses control, which he does. Okay, he does lose control there. But then it never hits the ground after that. I don't understand. It was in his chest.
It was the first incomplete pass in the NFL where the ball did not touch the ground. I mean, the ball never touched the ground, and that, I think, is where the NFL needs to start shifting like their focus on the rules. Is during the last few years, and really this past decade, it's been so focused on pass interference, right? That's been like the thing that they've tried to hammer down. And then next came like targeting, and
I thought they almost got it
the
though.
Passer, and then now, I mean, I really think that this is something we've seen on a consistent basis that is inconsistent. It's the most inconsistent call by NFL referees is what is control and what is considered a catch and what is a football move. Because, like right there, that cost them a touchdown, and that changes the tide of a game. I mean, I just don't.
It does. They would have scored. They probably would have scored. Stevenson was having a great game,
right?
And they would have run it in from the one. They would have either QB snuck it or Stevenson would have ran it in.
Right, almost at least a guaranteed score there, and that really is painful.
And then they had to punt it then they had to kick the field goal because it was fourth down.
Right. Yeah, so tough one, and I'm sure that's not the last controversial call we'll see from some.
Well, I lost. I'm even more mad. I lost some money from that because they did not cover.
Right.
Thank you, Covers Giving.
Happy Covers Giving, everyone.
Happy fucking Covers Giving.
Yeah, you almost went 3 for 3 on that. That would have been awesome.
Almost. Patriots. I mean,
that would have been the best Thanksgiving.
2.5. That was the one I was worried about all day.
Hey, real quick side note. I noticed some beef between Adam Thielen and who's the Patriots head coach? Bill Belichick. My God. Is that something that has been in the Patriots news at all? Because I remember a few years ago they had a tiff where they were arguing with each other when Belichick threw like a challenge flag for something and they got into it with each other. And then I noticed at the end of the game, they just did like the quick shoulder bump into each other at the end. I didn't know if that was in the mess of everything or if there's still some bad blood between the two of them or not.
Maybe he's just mad that he's one of the best wide receivers that's never played for the Patriots. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
You know?
Could be. Yeah. But yeah, Belichick has a history of picking awesome wide receivers to play for.
It's kind of weird. And he doesn't hit on the black ones, which makes it even more suspicious.
Yeah. Wow. Bill Belichick, Thornton, secret racist? Is this what we're saying? Is this breaking today?
Conspiracy theory I tried to bring up conspiracy theories last week, and RJ was having none of it.
Oh, gosh. He doesn't like to.
Well, no. I was like, the first thing I said was, it's the anniversary of the JFK shooting. That was on Tuesday.
That's a great way to start off a conversation.
And I was like, yeah, there was more than one shooter. And then he was like, Ian, do you think we landed on the moon? Yeah, those two have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, that is what we called a straw hat argument.
Yeah.
Where you try to make two completely different topics related so that you can make your point.
Dude, he tries to be so PC. His wife teaches retarded kids. Shout out to Reagan. We love you, Reagan. So, like, I don't know. And she hates when I say that. I apologize, but it was funny in the moment.
She should go listen to Tom Segura's stand-up skit about that.
Oh, I'm sure she does not because of that reason.
Probably. But yeah, no, that's crazy. And funny to start your podcast off with, hey, it's the anniversary of the JFK shooting. All right, let's go into Steelers-Bengals.
Yeah. I just like finding random things that are the anniversary on the day of recording. So like, what's the what happened on November 26th on this day in history?
Probably something crazy.
November 26th on this day.
There's just been so many historical events that something significant has happened on every day 1,000 times.
Oh, I saw this is the first national Thanksgiving in America. the 26th of 1789.
Oh, right on. Cool.
Fuck yeah! So this is the true anniversary.
Nice.
Let's go.
Well, I wonder if any of our great grandparents were there, or uncles.
Alice in Wonderland was published today in 1865.
Wow, what were they on when they wrote that? Have you ever seen the movie?
Oh, I don't know. Acid wasn't around in 1865. That's a good question.
Shrooms were.
Yeah, probably. Whatever
That
they
or
could
people
find.
were just like really out of it from the diphtheria and the flu that they always had. And
Oh,
just
no
dehydrated.
shit. Oh, okay, no
Dysentery.
shit. 1917, actually something to do with sports. The NHL forms with
Wow.
Montreal Canadiens, Montreal Maroons, Toronto Arenas, Ottawa Senators, and Quebec Bulldogs. The National Hockey Association
Were
disbands.
those all Canadian teams?
Yeah.
So the the NHL, which has primarily American teams, was started with nothing but Canadian teams. That's the funniest thing ever.
So I guess, and I've told this on the podcast before. I don't know how true this is. I guess the owners. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 teams here because they hated the 6th owner. So the 5 teams left and made their own league.
Nice. Jeez.
Like I said, I never fact checked that, but maybe I should.
It's always interesting to me when you talk about like, hockey teams in like Phoenix, and you have the Dallas Stars, and then you have the Florida Panthers. Like, I can't imagine there's that many people playing hockey in Arizona.
Not in Arizona, but probably Florida.
It's just like, that's something Pittsburgh does. I mean, we have a hockey team here, but it's not like we have a ton of youth hockey that is available within the city. I mean, you have to go travel.
Yeah, I think we grew up taking ice skating lessons in Cannonsburg out here.
Yeah, I feel like that's
That
where
was like
most
the
people
closest.
travel to
I think
play.
that's where the Penguins practiced, actually.
So yeah, and now they use their practice facility in like Cranberry. I don't know. I think that's where they would primarily practice.
Yeah, I mean, this was 2005.
Right.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, they didn't even have PPG at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, you want to talk about this World Cup game?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God.
How much of the World Cup have you been watching? I got to be honest.
Only the USA games.
Okay, yes.
Only. I told RJ, I'm like, I'm not watching any other games. I don't care.
Not say something like, "Oh, great, let's break down Argentina versus Mexico," which I think is happening today.
Yeah. You said 10-minute battery life.
Okay.
All good. But yeah, I think it was a good. Obviously, it's not the result they wanted, a draw, but I thought England was going to kick the shit out of the USA.
Yeah. So my understanding too is that the USA's national team is really not that great. Like the men's team they're not anything to talk about.
That's what I've heard.
They have that one guy from New Jersey, Mick something maybe. I don't know if it's McKinnon or I don't know. I'm gonna end up butchering that.
They do have the guy from Hershey.
Maybe that's who I'm talking
Christian Pulisic.
Pulisic, that's who I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah. So, and he took 17 corner kicks yesterday.
Yeah, an absurd amount.
Right. So, just hearing from the announcers and looking back on some of their previous games outside of just the World Cup, I mean, it sounds like they have had a significantly hard time scoring. And
they have.
I mean, anytime you don't score in a game, I mean, the only point of the game is to get the ball in the net, and that doesn't happen once for you. You got some things to work out, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to contend with anybody outside of that. If they go past Iran, on Tuesday, I don't know, what are they going to do? Go on and play people and just hold them to no goals? That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, they have to have some offense at some point,
Right.
and just holding them to scoreless ties is not going to happen. They pressured Wales way more than I think anyone thought they were going to.
Yeah, yesterday's game
Tuesday.
seemed pretty back and forth. I felt like the time of possession was pretty evenly split. Besides there was an exorbitant amount of time in the second half where the U.S. was taking corner kick after corner kick after corner kick with no bones.
And that it feels like that takes forever. But I mean, it takes the same amount of time. But you're just like, come on.
Right. The nice thing is that can you imagine how long it would take if the clock ever stopped?
Oh Jesus.
God. So yeah, no. I think we both can appreciate soccer for what it is, or football. Excuse us for our European listeners. And I know
No,
you're
it's
watching.
soccer. No, it's soccer.
And I know you're watching. But like the running clock, 90 minutes is awesome.
I love
let's
it.
get this thing
Oh,
rolling. I don't want to sit here and watch a 4-hour game that ends up being 0-0.
Game was done in under 2 hours yesterday.
Yes, that is a very digestible amount of soccer for
Yeah.
me to watch within a year. That's the only 2 hours of soccer that I've watched in years.
Yeah, and I had 4 Moscow mules in 4 hours, or
right.
2 hours.
They're going to start rewriting health books. If you have 4 or more drinks within the time that it takes for the U.S. to play England, that's considered binge drinking.
You might be an alcoholic. I think I might be an alcoholic.
Yeah, but hey, shout out to the U.S. and
Hell yeah.
hope they end up doing
Hell
well
yeah,
on
shout out
Tuesday.
U.S. God damn. But, yeah, they have to beat Iran, like I said, or else they're out.
Well, they can lose, but then I believe England has to lose to Wales.
I think they have to draw them. That way Wales would have less points overall, I think. Or they would tie, but then they would have...
We're not even worried about that. Let's
They
go
would beat
for a
the
dub.
score breaker.
The World Cup.
USA! 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 All right.
Go for a W against Iran on Tuesday.
Fuck yeah. I thought this was hilarious. The fucking Twitter, Pirates Twitter, or Pittsburgh Twitter in general has lost their goddamn mind. So, poll on Twitter from Andrew Pony, the Pony Express, asking fans if they would be happy if Pickett had the career similar to Matt Ryan.
Let's asterisk next to Andrew Filipponi, the biggest Kenny Pickett hater ever. No, biggest Kenny Pickett lover ever, hates Mitch Trubisky. Let's be honest.
That doesn't have anything to do with this.
I just want to start off that way because I have some feelings toward Filipponi that I think he's a clickbait guy.
2/3 of people said yes, they would like that.
That they would like him to be similar to Matt Ryan.
And 1/3 of people doesn't realize that Matt Ryan has the 12th best career ever in the NFL.
Yeah. I guarantee you if you ask 33% of Pittsburgh sports fan who Matt Ryan is, I guarantee you a lot of them have no idea.
You'd be like, who?
Or they at least don't know that he's still active in the NFL.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, the
was
Falcons
the
got
starting
rid of him. Yeah. He's with who now?
Yeah.
I mean, the Colts are kind of, between him and
Is he
Ellinger
still
at this
starting?
point.
I don't even know.
I think, yeah, he started last week. I don't know if he started this week, though.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would be satisfied with a Matt Ryan-esque quarterback in Pittsburgh to at least have some other offensive talent and maybe a line to protect him. Poor Kenny Pickett's not even going to last 4 years in the NFL because he gets sacked more than any other quarterback in the league.
Kind of, yeah, the last thing I wanted to go over here, imagine losing a bet on a game-winning punt return.
How crazy was that? 98 yards?
I think it was 80, 88, 86, 88, 86, something like that. But
Wait, on a punt return? Oh, sorry.
the
I'm talking about-
it was the Patriots Jets game from last week. So
Yeah.
we didn't go over it in the last episode.
I thought you meant the kick
Actually, no,
return
we did, but I didn't see this.
Because Thursday night there was a 98-yard kick return. I don't know if you saw that.
In which game? What game was that?
The
Vikings. Yeah, the Vikings got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see it.
Okay.
That
That was his third of his career, which is pretty awesome. Third kick return of his career.
Yeah, that was good.
like
Mainly, I took the nap so I could stay up for the Patriots game.
Right.
But let's see here. Brandon Marshall got a Patriots tattoo after the Patriots beat the Jets last week. I don't know.
Sweet.
But
awesome.
well, I mean, I just imagine losing a bet on a punt return game-winning touchdown
Yeah.
and having to get a tattoo of it. Let's see if it would transition there. There we go. I would hate to have a Steelers logo on me.
Yeah, I had a high school teacher that had a Steelers logo on his arm. He had to keep it covered.
Oh,
Shout out to Jason Carrick. Love you. He is
So-
awesome.
So what if you got a Browns or Bengals tattoo? Or a Ravens tattoo? God forbid.
Where would I get it?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I would say like where the sun don't shine, and have it on like my butt cheek or something. But then it's
Right
like,
up- right up
now
on my
you're the guy
gooch.
that has the Ravens tattoo on your butt cheek.
Hey, I have a I have a dolphin tattoo on my
honestly,
taint. You
maybe
want to see
somewhere like on my finger, like on the inside of my finger, real small and
Yeah.
conspicuous. You know, you have a finger tattoo, but it could just look like a mole. You know what I mean?
it?
You cover it up with like a Sharpie, and no one would ever know.
Yeah,
that,
right.
I gotta be honest, looks awful. It looks like a stick and poke, and like someone did it.
It does. Yeah.
It just looks ridiculous, not colored.
I would just never do that. I would just never. Yeah, I would never do that.
Wow.
But
Who posted this? Oh, Julian.
yeah, Julian Edelman.
Sweet.
Shout out Julian Edelman. Have you know what? Have Hoagies and Pierogis on Games with Names.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we'll go over maybe the Super Bowl, maybe the Eagles Super Bowl, because I'm a Patriots fan and RJ is an Eagles fan, so
Right on.
I think that would work out
Is
well.
he from out towards you, mechanic?
He's from the Delco area,
Oh, okay.
Delaware County area,
Cool.
so
Yeah.
like Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gina knows.
Oh yeah, lot of Delco people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All
Also,
right.
TikTok making fun of him.
All right, RJ. We had our Hoagies earlier in honor of you. I think this was a great episode. I think.
Oh,
I
good.
think this went really well for our
I had fun.
first ever live episode.
Yeah.
You know, some setting up that I didn't realize we would have to do, but
Hey, shout out to Ray. Thank you, Ray, for that.
shout out Ray. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Come do this again.
Absolutely, it's Thomas.
All right.
Have us. Well, yeah, we'll have you on Skype anytime you want.
Yeah, no, for sure. It
Yeah,
keeps me on top of the sports world too, because I feel like it was nice to venture out into other sports. Like I don't really talk about baseball a lot with a lot of people, so I do keep up on some of the bigger names, but I don't really get to talk about it with anyone because I don't really have any people around me that love baseball.
Yeah,
So, awesome.
and that's what we try. We just try to do a little bit of everything. So
That's great. Sweet. Okay. Sounds
All right.
good. Thanks,
Well,
man.
peace out.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you later. Munch, 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 munch.